Why The Last of Us Season 2 takes big departures from the video game. Neil Druckmann offers why certain changes were made for Abby. Fans of the games and newcomers to the franchise who never played the games fell in love with the story. It won't be long now before we get The Last of Us Season 2. However, if you played The Last of Us Part 2, you'll find that there will be some changes to Abby in particular. Abby Anderson is one of the main protagonists from The Last of Us Part 2. Players will spend a significant portion of the game playing as Abby. Most of the playtime is shared between Ellie Williams and Abby, with a few brief sections dedicated to other characters. While it was easy to tell her storyline with the video game as players slowly progress through the campaign as her, the production doesn't feel they could accurately pull it off in the show. Unfortunately, we don't know how exactly Abby's introduction will be handled in the show. There are two reasons why we change certain context or move certain things up in the story. One of which is that you start the game and play as Abby, so you immediately form an empathic connection with her because you're surviving as her. You're running through the snow, you're fighting infected, and we can withhold certain things and make it a mystery that will be revealed later in the story. We couldn't do that in the show because you're not playing as her, so we need other tools. And that context gave us that shortcut. Something similar happened in Season 1, where the game starts with you playing as Sarah, and we didn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting for you to care about Sarah because you're playing as her, you're experiencing the outbreak as her. In the show, we had to spend quite a bit of time to achieve something similar. So that was one reason. Another reason is where that revelation happens in the game. If we were to stick to a very similar timeline, viewers would have to wait a very, very long time to get that context. You would probably get spoiled between seasons, and we didn't want that. So, it felt appropriate for those reasons to move that up and give viewers that context right off the bat. Neil Druckmann talks about how HBO's The Last of Us will address Abby's backstory. That game was far too big to tell in one season. At the same time, we don't know how many seasons it will take for HBO to fully wrap up this story. Of course, we also don't know where they'll take the story after they finish adapting The Last of Us Part 2 because we don't have a third game installment. When adapting The Last of Us Part 2 for television, they took the same approach. "We pander to no one," Druckmann said in an Entertainment Weekly interview. It happened in the beginning of COVID, so there were a lot of very negative things all happening at once. You can't help but think about it now. It's one of those stories that will forever be stuck with me. But our brand is that we pander to no one. We do what's best for the story, and whatever happens, happens. There's a very particular story we wanted to tell, and we stuck to our guns. Neil Druckmann about The Last of Us Part 2.